कभी ऊपर कभी नीचे, कभी दाएं कभी बाएं, कभी उल्टा कभी सीधा। तो सब बच्चे ये खेल तो ज़रूर खेलते होंगे, है ना? ये बोल बोल के ये राइम, उल्टा सीधा, ऊपर नीचे, दाएं बाएं. In English, we call them pairs of opposites. These are all pairs of opposite. Hello dear students. I am Shreyoshi Day from Kendriya Vidyalaya number 2 Kachrapada, and today we are going to learn pairs of opposites. Rahul is carrying a heavy bag. Queen Elizabeth is carrying a light bag. So the opposite of heavy is light. The glass is full. The glass is empty. The opposite of full is empty. We won the race. We lost the race. The opposite of won is lost. I love getting up in the morning. I hate getting up in the morning. The opposite of love is hate. This man is wise. This man is foolish. The opposite of wise is foolish. Rohit always cries. Rohan always laughs. The opposite of cries is laughs. Similarly, the opposite of cry would be laugh. He looked everywhere for his friend. He looked nowhere for his friend. So the opposite of everywhere is nowhere. Now students, if any word starts with P and you want to make the opposite of it, all you need to do is to add im before that word and you will get the opposite of that word. Let's have a look. Polite, if I add im before polite, it will become impolite. So I'll get the opposite of polite. Proper, I add im before it, it becomes improper. Possible, impossible. Perfect, imperfect. Patient, impatient. Pure, impure. So if the word is starting with P and you want to make the opposite of it, it's very easy. Just add im before that word. And for rest of the words, we need to use un before certain words if we want to make opposite of these words. So these are some words with which if we add un before them, we'll get the opposite of these words. Happy, if I add un before happy, it becomes unhappy. So I get the opposite of happy. Seen, if I add un before seen, I'll get unseen. So the opposite of seen is unseen. Lucky, unlucky. Important, unimportant. Healthy, unhealthy. Safe, unsafe. Give the opposites of the words in blue. So in the next slide, you are going to see a passage. This passage is given in your English textbook Marigold on page number 29. Certain words are written in blue and you need to write the opposite of those words. We have already discussed opposite of certain words. So I hope it would be easy for you to understand the opposite of the words that are written in blue and you will be able to guess. Rita loved her dog Sheru. So the opposite of loved is hated. Every day Sheru would go out of the house and came back himself. So the opposite of go would be come and the opposite of out would be in. Now dear student, here is a confusion. Often students get confused. In your textbook, the question does not ask you to rewrite the entire passage using opposites of the words written in blue. All you have been asked to do is to give the opposites of the words which are written in blue. So that's why I have used here in. But if you go by the sentence, Sheru would go out of the house, Sheru would go in of the house. If I write in here and if I want to rewrite the sentence using the opposite of out, it would not make any sense. So I need to write Sheru would go into the house. If I can strike out the preposition of, then I can write into here. But if I go by the question in your textbook, the question does not ask you to rewrite the sentence, so I'm not going into that much detail. I'm only writing in, which is the standard opposite, which is the accepted opposite of out. So the accepted opposite of out is in. But if I were asked to write the passage using the opposites, then I would have to use go into the house. I hope the doubt is clear. But one day he did not came back home. Rita looked everywhere for him. So the opposite of everywhere is nowhere. The opposites are written in red. You can just look at the slide. Tears rolled down her cheeks. So the opposite of down is up. Sheru was lost. Sheru was found. Usually we use one. Usually we use opposite of lost one. But here in this context we would use found. He was nowhere to be found. So the opposite of nowhere is everywhere. Rita was crying when she reached home. The opposite of crying is laughing. Here the opposite of cry, I told you, is laugh, cries, laughs, cry, laugh, and crying, laughing. She got into her bed. All of a sudden, something jumped on her. Can you guess who it was? Rita was very happy. So the opposite of happy is sad. I hope, students, I have introduced the concept of opposites to you. There are lots and lots more pairs of opposites. I hope you will read further and find out many more pairs of opposites, and you would list them down and show it to your teacher, English teacher. And you will also, now you will be able to do textual exercise given at the end of the chapter, The Little Fir Tree. Thank you, students.